All right, now for question 1, quick check. What does the blue metric measure in foundation models? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option A. Blue counts n-gram matches against reference translations. Blue evaluates the quality of machine translation by comparing generated translations with reference translations, measuring how closely the generated text matches human translations. What's up, everyone? Another batch from Stack Lessons. 10 questions on ML fundamentals and learning paradigms, SageMaker inference and governance tools, and model explainability. Format is the same: question, countdown, reveal, explanation. 6 seconds is the timer. Strap in. Keep score as you go. I will ask for your total at the end. All right, question 2 coming up. Quick check. Which of the following best describes reinforcement learning? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option C. Agent, environment, reward, that is the RL loop. Reinforcement learning is a paradigm where an agent learns by interacting with an environment and receiving rewards for successful actions, optimizing its behavior through trial and error. Okay, let's read question 3. What does multimodal mean in the context of generative AI models? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option C. The phrase different types of data is the unlock. Multimodal models can process multiple data types, such as text, images, and audio, for comprehensive AI applications. This enables more versatile and powerful AI systems that can understand and generate content across different modalities. Here we go, question 4. Avoid the familiar but wrong answer. Which Amazon EC2 instance provides high-performance instances explicitly optimized for machine learning model training, utilizing custom-built chips for cost-efficient deep learning? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option D. P4 is powerful, but Tran1 is training specific and cheaper. Amazon EC2 Tran1 instances are specifically designed for ML training using AWS Trainium chips, providing cost-efficient deep learning. P4 instances use more expensive NVIDIA GPUs. M6G instances are general purpose with Graviton2 processors, and G5 instances focus on graphics and inference rather than training. Next up, question 5. Keep the constraints in view. Which approach would be the most suitable for achieving cross-model optimization in a multi-departmental ML setup? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option B. Reusing knowledge across departments is textbook transfer learning. Transfer learning enables a model to use knowledge learned from one task to improve its performance on a different, related task, optimizing cross-model collaboration and efficiency across departments. First 5 covered ML definitions and AWS compute. Every remaining question is an inference or governance scenario. Next up, question 6. Follow the operational constraint. A retail company must process several terabytes of historical customer data to forecast purchasing trends. Immediate access to predictions is not required. Which Amazon SageMaker inference option will best meet these requirements? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option B. No real-time requirement plus terabytes. Batch wins here. Batch transform inference is ideal for processing large datasets asynchronously when real-time predictions aren't needed. Serverless inference suits real-time, unpredictable workloads. Model parallelism handles large models across GPUs, and elastic inference accelerates real-time inference. Only batch transform efficiently processes large historical datasets cost-effectively. Now, question 7. Read this one twice. An AI engineer implements AI models to optimize a company's supply chain operations. To comply with industry regulations, the engineer must document the model's development and performance details for regulatory auditing. What AWS service can help the company fulfill this requirement? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option A. Model Monitor watches drift. Model cards write the compliance record. Amazon SageMaker Model Cards is the ideal solution as it's specifically designed for documenting ML model details including training data, performance metrics, and intended use cases. It provides structured documentation needed for compliance and auditing. Model Monitor tracks model performance but doesn't document training details. Config assesses resource configurations, and CloudTrail logs API activity. Only Model Cards provides comprehensive ML model documentation. Now, question 8. Find what the distractors miss. A software development company wants to leverage Amazon Q Developer to enhance programmer productivity and accelerate development workflows. What capabilities can Amazon Q Developer provide to support these objectives? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option A. Each wrong answer names a real but different AWS service. Amazon Q Developer enhances programmer productivity through code snippet generation, reference tracking, and open source license monitoring. These features directly support development workflows and ensure compliance. Serverless execution describes AWS Lambda, not Q Developer. Voice-activated coding isn't a Q Developer feature. Audio-to-text conversion describes transcription services, not Q Developer capabilities. The correct answer aligns with Q Developer's actual functionality for improving developer productivity through intelligent code assistance and compliance monitoring. Let's nail this one. Amazon Q Developer has very specific capabilities worth knowing for the exam. Imagine you're coding in VS Code and you start typing a function. Amazon Q Developer watches and suggests the rest in over 25 languages. But it does more than autocomplete. It tracks where those suggestions came from. That matters because open source code carries licenses. Q Developer flags those licenses so you don't accidentally ship code with a viral open source license in a commercial product. That's the real trio: generate code, track references, check licenses. The distractors in this question are designed to sound plausible. Serverless execution, that's AWS Lambda. Audio to text, that's Amazon Transcribe. Voice coding, not a thing in Q Developer. Answer A matches exactly what Q Developer actually does. Let us keep moving. Question 9. The wording narrows the answer. A financial institution is integrating generative AI services to enhance customer support with natural language processing. The company emphasizes transparent, fair, and accountable AI models and seeks resources for understanding ethical implications and responsible AI use. Which resource addresses these requirements? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option D. Transparent, fair, accountable, those exact words map to one service. AWS AI Service Cards provide comprehensive documentation and guidance for responsible AI implementation. They offer detailed information about intended use cases, ethical considerations, transparency requirements, and best practices for responsible AI deployment. Amazon Polly is for text-to-speech conversion. AWS Marketplace is a general service marketplace. Amazon Comprehend is an NLP service, but doesn't focus on ethical considerations. AI service cards directly address the institution's need for guidance on ethical and responsible AI implementation. Let's pause here. This question hides the real requirement behind familiar service names. Imagine your compliance team asking regulators, "Can you see exactly how our AI makes decisions?" They don't want a chatbot or a voice tool. They want documentation. This question has a trap. It mentions natural language processing, which makes Amazon Comprehend sound like the right pick. But read the actual requirement. Resources for understanding ethical implications. That word resources is doing the heavy lifting. AWS AI service cards are published docs from Amazon. They explain intended use, known risks, and fairness considerations for each AI service. Comprehend processes text. Polly converts text to speech. Neither explains the ethics behind what they do. AI service cards do. The question rewards knowing the difference between a service and its governance handbook. Let us keep moving. Question 10. Pay attention to what is really asked. Which explanation best describes the differences between Shapley values and partial dependence plots? PDP in model explainability. Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option C. Local per prediction versus global marginal effect. That axis separates them. Shapley values explain individual predictions by assigning contribution scores to features for specific instances, while PDP visualizes the effect of a feature on model output across the entire dataset, offering global insights. Let's slow down here. Shapley values and PDPs trip up a lot of exam candidates. Imagine your model rejects a loan application. You need two kinds of answers. First, why did this specific person get rejected? That's Shapley values. For each feature, they give you a blame or credit number for that one case. Second, how does income generally affect approval across all 50,000 applications? That's a partial dependence plot. It sweeps one feature across its range and shows the average effect on model output. Shapley values are local. They explain one prediction at a time. PDPs are global. They show how a feature behaves across your whole dataset. The exam tests exactly this. Local versus global. That's the one thing to remember. 3 takeaways from this session. First, blue scores translation quality. Shapley explains individual predictions. Evaluation scope is always the trap. Second, Tran 1 with Tranium chips cuts training costs roughly 50% compared to P4's NVIDIA A100 GPUs. Third, model cards document training details for compliance. Model Monitor watches live drift. Never conflate the two. The Shapley versus PDP split, local versus global, is exactly the precision the exam tests. If you can also separate model cards from Model Monitor on the first read, you are ready for the hardest questions AIF-C01 can throw. One more thing before you go. If these sets are useful, hit subscribe. It keeps them free and reaches more people like you. Drop your score below and flag any question worth a deeper look. Want a different exam covered next? Just name it. And if the speed or style could improve, tell me. That shapes the next batch.